Imagine if every broken promise to yourself left a visible scar. How many scars would you actually have right now? So your brain doesn't just remember your broken promises, it changes because of them. And what I'm about to share with you isn't in any self-help book or motivational speech. This is about the invisible ledger that's determining your future right now. See, here's something that shook me when I saw it. When researchers studied the brains of people who consistently break self-promises, they found something startling. The neural pathways responsible for self-trust begin to deteriorate. Not metaphorically, physically. Think about it. Every single time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," or "just this once," you are not just postponing success. You are literally rewiring your brain to expect failure. But here is where it gets interesting. See, your brain, that magnificent supercomputer that God has blessed you with, has a glitch in its programming. It's designed to keep you safe. But safe to your brain doesn't mean successful. It means familiar. Even if familiar means staying stuck, it will go over and over that cycle because that is what it's been designed to do. See, the most successful people in the world have something in common. And it's not what you might think. It's the fact that they've learned to recognize that when their brain is protecting them from the wrong thing, they have to pivot and do something different. Because here's the truth, here's the reality. The same system that's trying to keep you safe is also keeping you small. And you might think, what am I talking about? Let me show you what I mean by that statement. See, I recently worked with someone, exec coaching them, who had been stuck in the same cycle for years. Every time they approached their dreams, their brain would flood them with reason to step back. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? But then we discovered something that changed absolutely everything for her. It turns out your brain has a blind spot. It can't tell the difference between the anxiety of danger or the excitement of opportunity. Both create identical neural signatures. The only difference is the story you tell yourself about what that feeling means. And this is where it gets real personal, like I did for my client. See, when you understand this next part, everything changes. Your fears, your hesitation, your self-doubt, they're not warning signs to stop. They're invitations to grow. The moment you realize this, something extraordinary happens. Those feelings of overwhelm, they're not telling you you're not ready. They're telling you you're on the edge of transformation. But here's the real secret. Here's the truth that most people never realize. It's completely normal to feel overwhelmed by the big idea. It's natural to feel the surge of fear that makes making a shift or stepping outside your comfort zone hard. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do, trying to keep you safe. That fear, that overwhelming sensation, it's not a stop sign, it's a gateway. I'm talking about this from experience. I remember when I had the shift, the voice, the urge to move from my role to step into entrepreneurship. Talked about this example so many times, and it was absolutely scary. Let me go a little step further. I remember making a decision to have our second daughter. Now that was scary. That was scary because at that time we had no money. We just had our first child. We were still coming out of the recession. I was still trying to figure out work. My wife wasn't working and she wanted to have another kid. I was not ready. I was scared. I was petrified. My brain was doing every single thing that it's been made to do until God spoke to me and he said, "Do you trust me?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I'm going to make your prayers a reality. But if you trust me, you need to walk in faith." And that walking in faith was leaning forward into fulfilling my wife's desires. And we tried for a second child and we were blessed with it. Would you believe every single thing that I was praying for within a month and a half of my daughter being born came to pass? Every single thing I was praying for. Like I said, your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do, just like mine was. It was trying to keep me safe. But that fear, that overwhelming sensation, it's not a stop sign. It is a gateway. You can walk through that gateway. You can take control. That fear that you're feeling isn't a barrier. It's a bridge onto your next level. And once you understand this, everything shifts. This reminds me of one of the most powerful truths ever written. words that shook me to my core when I first read them. In fact, I watched them in the film and I went back to read the book. It's a quote from MARIANNE Williamson from her book. And the quote says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." Let that quote just sink in for a moment. Your fear isn't trying to protect you from failure. It is instead trying to protect you from your own magnificence. But here's what happens next. Your brain is keeping score right now. In this very moment, it is keeping score, and you have a choice to make. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready, now. Like I said at the start, this isn't just another video you watch and you forget. This is a moment of decision. Here's what you're going to do right now as you watch this. Grab a pen, take out your phone if that's better for you, open your notes or your book and write down the one promise you've been breaking to yourself over and over again. And then in the comments below, share what you are no longer waiting to become. Because this ends today. The cycle breaks now by you making that commitment to write it down in your phone or write it down in your journal and put it in the comments. And if this message hits you in your core, if you feel something shift while watching this, don't just like and subscribe. I want you to do that. Share this with one person who needs to hear it today. Tag them, because sometimes the breakthrough someone needs isn't a strategy or a plan. It's the permission to believe in their own God-given power. I'm going to say it one more time. Your brain keeps score. It remembers every single time you say no to yourself. Every single time you say you're going to do something and you don't. It keeps score. But from this moment forward, you decide the game. This isn't the end of the video. This is the beginning of your liberation. Write down that one thing. Write it down in the comments. Stay focused, stay diligent, take action, and you see your life change and things begin to shift all around you. I'll see you next time.